Nokia has always been a strong brand around the world. Honestly, I have never had one, but I understand the hype around new Nokias. Since Microsoft dropped Nokia branding, I hoped for Android Nokia phone, and here it is. And not only one, but 3 of them. Nokia 3, 5 and 6. And here's my review of the cheapest one, around €139, Nokia 3. Before we dive into the review, let's start with a small digression. These new Nokias aren't the Nokias we're familiar with. The whole history and current situation of this brand is a great material for a different video. In short, for this moment, rights to manufacture phones under Nokia brand are in hands of a Finnish company, HMD Global. HMD designs their phones and outsources manufacturing to Foxconn in China. Similar situation to Apple and iPhones. That's why a popular statement that new Nokias are Chinese phones is as true for them as for iPhones. Well, it took longer than I thought, let's get back to review. So, how's this Finese looking? Surprisingly good. Well, it's a safe design without anything striking about it, but it works. Aluminum frame helps with a grip and gives this phone more premium feel. Even plastic back cover isn't a deal breaker, because for me it was similar in terms of finish to the back cover of my old trusty Nexus 5. Fins went with unibody design that supposedly should prevent any creaking sounds, and unfortunately it isn't the case here. There were multiple occasions when the back cover made unpleasant sounds. Because of this design choice, there's a need for using trays located on the left side to install SIM card, because Nokia 3 supports 2 nano SIMs at once and memory card up to 128 gigs. Screen on this thing is packed with positives, except one. So I'll begin with this exception. There's a black bezel around this 5-inch screen, and I'm a full-time hater of any additional bezels. Okay, it isn't too big, but damn, it's there, and with white front and bright apps, it's a bit of an eyesore. Well, okay, back to positives. Laminated polarized LCD IPS, rounded 2.5D Gorilla Glass, good viewing angles, high brightness and responsive touch bundle into great package that even 720p resolution won't break. Even though HMD Global announced that they want new Nokias to be sort of continuation of Nexus line, I'll talk about it later, there are no on-screen buttons. Only not backlit ones under the screen. Other buttons, volume and power rocker, are on the right, and there's nothing to complain about. I mentioned earlier that HMD Global is planning to turn their Nokias into new Nexuses. Well, what does it mean? For starters, they promise close collaboration with Google in order to provide us with fast OS updates. I'm curious how it will work, because Nokia 3, runs on Android Nougat, but on 7.0, while 7.1 is already there. Also, the choice of processor. Here, MediaTek may hold them back from updates because the manufacturer may not provide drivers needed. Except for fast updates, almost clean OS is supposed to make HMD phones more like Google's Nexus line. I've got to agree, OS on Nokia 3 is almost stock. All pre-installed apps are from Google, except for tech support, which may be a godsend for less experienced users who bought Nokia because of brand recognition. Unfortunately, there's no ambient display on this thing, probably because of the LCD screen, but there's also no notification LED. Because Nokia kept OS as clean as possible, they didn't provide us with any other mean of checking notifications without unlocking our phone. Moreover, you cannot light up the screen without double tap. Maybe there's no double tap to wake, but we've got, known from Google phones, double press power button to quickly start camera. But using the word quickly is huge mistake in here. Camera launch times are horrendously slow. On Nokia 3, both cameras are equipped with 8 megapixel sensors. Camera app provides 3 shooting modes: auto, scene and manual. However, I didn't notice significant difference between the first two. And about that manual mode, it's not close to anything we know from more expensive phones. Here we can choose one of 3 focus modes: ISO, white balance and exposition. Photos these cameras producing are average or even below average. Autofocus is hit or miss, and it's mostly miss. Auto exposition is also pretty aggressive and problematic. You mostly end up with under or overexposed photos. I'd expect more from this price point, but see it by yourselves. Also, movie recording is capped at 720p. I quietly hoped that Nokia 3 would provide me with better camera experience. Maybe HMD's Nokias would be better in this department in the future because they've started partnership with Zeiss Optics. Maybe processor choice is one of the reasons of poor photo quality, because MT6737 can be found in much cheaper Chinese phones. I've already tested the same combination, this processor and 2GB of RAM, during my time with Ulefone U008 Pro. But I've got to admit that HMD Global did a good job at optimizing the performance. Nokia 3 is snappy and even a couple of apps can work in background. In my opinion, only app startup times could have been faster, but at this price point I think it's acceptable. Of course, there's so much you can do with optimization, because the weakest point of the CPU and the used GPU is gaming performance. Don't expect any high-end games to work properly here. HMD Global equipped Nokia with non-removable yet quite small battery. It's only 2650. For example, Chinese Ulefone U008 Pro had same internals and 3500 battery. However, Nokia 3 in my looped video test worked 1 hour and a half more than Ulefone. It took 9 hours 35 minutes to completely kill Nokia's battery. In everyday use, I mostly ended my day with around 10% left and between 2 and 3 hours of screen on time, but really spotty network coverage at my workplace might be the reason. During weekends I finished day with same battery percentage but with more than 4 hours SEOT. Yet it takes more than 3 hours to charge these things up. If you're a frequent GPS user, you'd appreciate a bigger battery. And how does GPS work on Nokia 3? It works quite well, even though there's no GLONASS or any other technology that would back it up. During my workouts, Fix was acquired quite swiftly and was stable. Phone tracked me quite well during runs and navigation during road trips was okay. Nokia 3 offers more sensors than most budget phones. Here we've got budget standard accelerometer, proximity and light sensor, and to top it, e-compass and gyroscope. And if you're into mobile contactless payments, this cheapest Nokia supports NFC. I'm not sure if you'd believe me, but Nokia 3 supports phone calls. Yep, people still use their phones as phones. And this one supports 4G connectivity, which shouldn't be surprising if you consider its price. Phone calls were a quite pleasant experience. I heard the caller without any problems and they could hear me back without any background noises. Loudspeaker worked perfectly, even in a loud car. However, this downward facing speaker isn't a perfect option for media consumption. The louder it gets, the more distorted it sounds. Thankfully, people at HMD Global aren't courageous, and we've got mini jack in here. To summarize, HMD Global presented us Nokia 3, which is nice looking, well built, and just an average phone. My main gripe with this phone is its price. At this price point, it's easy to get phones that use Snapdragon and not MediaTek. But everything wrong with this phone may be forgotten if HMD Global will provide us with timely updates, just as they promised. Because you've got to remember, updates aren't just new functions or interface changes that may annoy some people. For the most part, updates help to keep phone more secure. Anyway, I'm sure that Nokia 3 will sell because of, well, brand recognition and sentiment. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I hope that my review will help you with your own opinion about Nokia 3. Don't forget to leave it down in comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And if you didn't, well, the dislike button is right there. Thanks again, bye.